Hello guys. In this session, I'm going to talk about the advanced security strategy for the PostgreSQL. So I'm just going to skip my introduction because you're already aware about that. So.
Okay, that's good. Thank you.
Okay, so now this is the agenda of this session, and in next around 18 to 19 minutes, I'm going to talk about all of these technical points. So I'm sure that all of you have heard about the data breach. And as technology is evolving day by day, then the occurrence of the data breach is also increasing day by day. So according to the latest data breach report by IBM and Ponemon Institute, in 2023, the average cost of the data breach has reached a record high of 4.45 million USD, which is almost 2.3% high if we are going to compare the data breach cost in 2022. In 2022, the cost was around 4.35 million USD. So I must say that a data breach incident is one of the most embarrassing situation for any organization who become the victim of that. So data breach is not only brings the embarrassment for the organization, but it also brings certain negative impacts like the damage the brand reputation, reduce the customer trust, revenue loss, and all of this also impact the stock price as well. Stock price also going to be fall. So that's the reason it is one of the most, I would say, the very bad for the organizations in terms of other aspects as well. Here you can see on a screen that there are the various organizations and government entities who become the victim of data breach in the recent time. So there are the various security techniques which you can integrate with the PostgreSQL, and you can save your environment, or I would say the database, from the certain security threats like the privilege, misuse of your privileges, SQL injection, a physical file, physical drive theft, and man-in-middle attacks, or many other security threats as well. So in this slide, I'm going to talk about one of the most powerful database security tool, which is going to provide a complete safeguard to your sensitive data. Called transparent data encryption, or TDE. So TDE is act as like a dedicated security guard for your database. And it's going to be work around the clock. So when I say it's going to work around the clock, so it means it, depending on the company requirement, it will create either 128 or 256 bit of encryption shield around your data files. So, it provides the complete data at rest security. So in case attackers somehow able to manage and break your database server and try to access those files, they will not be able to see the actual data. They will see only the scramble of codes. And that is the reason that TDE is one of the widely accepted techniques by by all the organizations who are mainly dealing with the PCI DSS standards. So if you would like to deploy, or I would say the configure TDE in your environment, there is no extra steps is going to be required, or I would say the complicated steps are required, and there is no modification or rewriting the existing application logic. Once you apply, or I would say once you configure the TDE in your environment, you will, and in case if you have a very strong security requirement and you would like to rotate your encryption key on a regular interval, you can also able to do that without any complication and without any requirement of the re-encrypting your existing data with your newly rotated encryption key. And I must say that TDE is working very seamlessly with your application, because there is no performance degradation is observed when you are once you configure TDE. Everything is working as it is without any performance degradation. So TDE will encrypt everything which comes within its scope. So let's start with the table space. So if you created TDE encrypted table space in your environment, then any database object is going to be created inside that table space is going to be automatically encrypted. Backup files and temporary files. So TDE will encrypt all the backup files as well as temporary files as well. So hackers will not get any single benefit by accessing those files. Wall file. According to the internal architecture of the PostgreSQL, all the successful transactions are going to be recorded inside the wall files to make it available for the instance crash recovery. So, and nowadays utility also available which is responsible to dump your WAL file into the human readable format, and TDE will restrict that particular things by encrypting every single file of every single WAL files, so hackers will not be able to dump those WAL file into the human readable format, and your data is still secure. In this slide, I'm going to talk about the another, I would say the another security tool which is going to provide a complete safeguard for your sensitive data from the praying eyes, called the data masking. So it is just like putting a mask on your sensitive data. So to implement the data masking in your environment, you need to identify the column which are responsible to store the sensitive data in your database. Once you identify that, then after that, you can apply any of the technique like encrypting, replacing, or randomizing, which is useful to scramble your original sensitive data into the non-identify, or I would say the completely scramble form. So once you apply this, any of the technique, your sensitive data is already scrambled. So it is completely suitable for the activities like testing, development, or analytic purpose. But if hackers got the access of that, it's completely useless for that, because its original data is scrambled, so they will not get any benefit. This particular technique is also useful to provide the protection from online and offline, both the mode. So as I mentioned in my previous slide, that data masking is just like putting a mask on your sensitive data. So just like when we wear a mask, then others can see our eyes and able to hear our voice, but they will not be able to see our full face. So data masking is also work in a similar concept and also have a few masking types as well. So let's start with the full masking. So full masking is just like putting a superhero mask on your sensitive data. So it will convert your every single information, every sensitive single information from that particular column will transform into the completely new scramble form. So it's just like turning Peter Parker into the Spider-Man on every single place where it is visible. Partial masking is a technique to hide the certain part of your sensitive information while the other part of sensitive information is still visible to the others. That's called the partial masking. And I'm sure you have, all of you have experienced this kind of partial masking in your day-to-day lives. For example, when you try to go for the online shopping and you already have already saved your bank card as a preferred payment term, then you have observed that last 4 digits of your saved card is visible. Initial 12 digits are already masked. That's called the partial masking. Next one is the regular expression masking. So regular expression is like, it is a technique to mask only those information which is going to be based on a special pattern. While by keeping the other, all information is going to be in a well-organized manner. So for example, if you would like to display the address, in the address, building number, building name is going to be visible to all the users, but the street name is only street name is going to be masked, which is going to be fulfill your masking policy, while the other street name is still visible to the others, which are not going to fulfill your masking policy. So that's called the masking, regular expression masking. You can see on the example on at the bottom of the slide. So auditing is audit logging enables the organization to trace and audit the usage of sensitive data, and also logs the connection attempt of the database, as well as also provides the additional information for accessing the data by logging the certain informations like what data is accessed, who accessed the data, when the data is accessed, how the data is accessed. So all the information can be possible to log inside your audit log files. So depending on the business requirement, administrator can able to configure the database object, certain events or database objects which they would like to get some audit information. And all the audit information is going to be logged inside the dedicated audit log files, which are completely separate from the PostgreSQL.log files for the easy access and management point of view. And there are two types of audit logging. One is the session audit logging, and another is the object audit logging. So both type of audit configuration possible to configure by the administrator of the organization. The session audit logging is going to log the certain events like PostgreSQL service start, connection attempts, backup operation, maintenance operations, and few others. While on the other hand, the object audit logging is going to be log the certain operations like all the DML operations which are going to be performed on the specified database objects. But object audit logging is going to provide the some more granular level of audit information. So the actual goal of the auditing is to provide the organization the capability to generate the database logs, or I would say the logs, which are going to be comply with the various government and financial standards like PCI DSS, and also helps the organization to, I would say, obtain the ISO certification if it is required. So you can see on a screen that there are the list of the class name which we need to configure inside the audit configuration files, and based on the class name configuration, appropriate statement is going to be logged inside the audit log files. So in this slide, I'm going to talk about one of the most powerful PostgreSQL extensions called pgcrypto, which provides the complete safeguard to your sensitive data well within in your database. So as I mentioned that pgcrypto is one of the most powerful, so it also offers the various cryptographic operations, also allows to encrypt or decrypt your sensitive data, and also give a complete facility to the users to generate the various hashes and digital signatures as well. And if I'm going to talk about the capability of this particular extension, so with the help of the various encryption, robust encryption, symmetric and asymmetric algorithm, users can able to encrypt and decrypt their sensitive data. And so this particular extension supports the wide range of asymmetric and symmetric extensions. For example, like AES, Blowfish, RSA, OpenPGP standards as well. So with the help of that, your data is completely secure. I would say is already encrypted, and it will not be able to decrypt by the attacker, even though they are able to manage the break into your system, but they require the appropriate decryption key. Otherwise, it's 100% secure. Next one is the users also able to secure their critical passwords as well. So the pgcrypto will have a wide support for the various hashing algorithms like SHA 256, SHA 1, MD5, and with the help of that, it makes sure that your password is completely irreversible, and it will completely convert into the unbreakable string, even if it is directly retrieved from the database. Last one but most important feature of this particular extension is it also allows the users to create the digital signature. So it will work as a tamper-proof seal to verify the authenticity and integrity of your data as well. In this slide, I'm going to talk about how you can secure your data when it is moving, means data in transit. So PostgreSQL have an inbuilt capability called SSL, means secure socket layer, and it will works very well with the transport layer security, means TLS. So with the help of both, we can able to make sure that our data is always secure when it is traveling between your computer and database server. So with the help of SSL TLS, we will be able to achieve the two type of encryption. One is the public key encryption, which act as a fancy lock. So only right person can open, means only you and database knows what is being sent via network. Symmetric encryption is it's like a secret code. It looks like a garbage to everyone without the appropriate key. And if you want, with the help, so if you want to configure SSL TLS in your environment, certain things also needs to be in place. One is installation of OpenSSL needs to be done on both client and server. Server key and certificate is also required to make sure that you are talking to the right place, not with some imposter. And certain SSL related configuration also needs to be done at the PostgreSQL level. Once you have all these things in place, you are good to go and able to secure your data when it's traveling via network. PostgreSQL supports both self-sign and third-party CA certificate as well. So depending on the business requirement and security requirement, we can choose any one of them to secure your data. Security patching. So security patching will help you to protect and keep your system healthy from the potential vulnerabilities, or I would say security threats. So we should not ignore any security patching, because it provides a complete safeguard to your environment from this security vulnerability, which can be exploited by the hacker to break into the system and can damage or steal your valuable data. And it is highly advisable or I would say it is always crucial to apply all the OS and database security patches on a regular interval as soon as they become available for the use. And it is always beneficial to integrate your patching process inside your development process as well. So successfully testing and implementation and testing of your security patch completed before it applies to the live production system. The last one is, it is always highly advisable to automate your patching process. With the help of automation, if you're going to apply the patching in your environment, you will get a certain benefits, like you will save your time, bring the consistency in your all the environment, and also reduce the risk of the human error. So these are the benefit if you are going to apply the patches via automation. So that's it from my end. If you have any question, please feel.
So, Nishchay, the auditing capabilities, object and session level, so are they PG audit extension?
No, it's the same. It's a PG audit.
Okay,
it's a PG audit, but it's integrated with the Fujitsu Enterprise Postgres, so it's a part of that. So all the security features you have seen on screen, right? The TDE, data masking, SSL configure, all are available inside the Fujitsu Enterprise Postgres. And if you would like to know more about your compliance level of your database structure, or I would say the security based on the CIS benchmark, you can visit our booth. So we will walk you through that. We already have a security assessment service for that.
I have a question. Can I ask a question too? Okay, quick question. At Fujitsu, do you use these features?
Yeah, we already have inbuilt inside the Fujitsu Enterprise Postgres. Yeah.
Right. We have a question over here.
Thank you. Hi, Nishchay. How are you?
Hi, Julento. How are you?
I'm good.
Good, thank you.
So this is very interesting.
Thank you. Thank you.
So my question is, how fast?
Okay. So
compared to the no encryption one.
Okay, so we already have a trace result for that. So we can't, this is not the right platform to distribute the the comparison performance that. So if you would like to know, you can arrange the technical expert call with us. We will walk you through over there as well.
Yeah.
But this is not a right platform to discuss about the performance between the one server to the other server.
No problem. We will discuss later. So my next question is: do you use hardware accelerated encryption?
Sorry.
Hardware and accelerated encryption.
Can you elaborate your question for that?
So the question is using the processor mnemonic.
Okay, so definitely, so based on, again, this is again related to the benchmarking test. So as I mentioned, that is not a platform for that. So okay. Yeah, definitely you can, as I mentioned again, you can book a call with us. We will walk you through all those things.
Okay, thank you.
You can visit the booth also. Yeah. So we can have. Okay, one more question. All right.
So you were mentioning about security, encryption, masking, and auditing, right? I'm interested with the masking. Do you use PG anonymize?
No, we are not. We don't. We have our own functionality to. We say that we have our own extensions to masking this. We are not rely on the community PG anonymizer.
Since I also interested in the embedded encryption, something like that, and also to comply with the regulations. Do you think the masking itself also complying to the regulations? Yeah,
so Fujitsu Enterprise Postgres is purely compliance with the various data security standards like HIPAA and the GDPR or PCI DSS, everything. So, yeah, thank you very much. Right. And just first to let you know that the new version of FAB Postgres, which is compliant with the FIPS 140-2. Yep.
Okay, I think we have one more question. Okay, yes.
I'm not sure I understand TDE correctly, but encrypting data in shared buffers on a disk, what do you do with some specific play Postgres, like PG statistics, where we store some interesting things, like most common values of your data, or some caches. For example, you sometimes can spill data on disk, sorting them or joining them, or just tuple store, which also can be spilled to disk. You secure this data or not?
Okay, so TD is for the purely data stress security. So it's a file system level.